Hey guys, if you're watching this video, first of all, thank you very much. I tried to gather my thoughts beforehand. I've been trying to gather my thoughts for the past several days before recording this so that I wouldn't be a rambling mess. And what do you know? It ended up being a rambling mess. Thanks in advance for listening. This is important to me, otherwise I wouldn't be taking the time to do it. This is my first vlog that I'm posting. There probably might be more in the future, but I think this is a good place to start. It touches on some things that are going on in my life and that have been ongoing in my life that I haven't really talked about. Thanks in advance for your time, and yeah, I'll see you soon. What's up guys, my name's Mr. JEM. Well, that's what I call myself anyway. I guess I figure I'll do some kind of introduction for those who don't know me, although I'm pretty sure everybody watching this probably knows me pretty well. If you're watching this, you probably are watching because you're a friend of mine or something like that. Basically, you can call me Jem, J, Mystic Jem. Yeah, call me those things. I've been making videos. I've been doing YouTube for what, a year and a half, close to 2 years now. That's an important detail that ties into everything that I'm going to talk about here today. But long story short, I just wanted to make this video to talk about some things that I have not talked about in the past with most of you. I've talked to a couple people about this, but some stuff that affects me in my life. I just want to say that I haven't talked about this stuff previously because I understand that it could give it gives a bad impression. It's basically, I got myself into some trouble almost 2 years ago, and it's affecting me pretty much every day of my life. And when I first started making videos, I wanted to give this impression of being, you know, family friendly, happy-go-lucky, but ultimately I think that being honest is the best way to go forward, because there's going to be some point when this topic is going to come up, and when it comes up out of the blue, it's going to be a lot weirder than if I just talk to you about it now, when it's kind of this passive background thing. Let's just cut to the chase. I am dealing with a bunch of legal problems right now that are ongoing. I am on probation. I have been on probation for the past 2 years. That's why I said that the fact of how long I've been making videos plays into all of this. You can kind of put the pieces together and figure out how it's correlated. Basically, the story is I had traveled with some friends and my brother to Colorado for 420, as the kids call it. You know, stoner holiday, basically. And the trip went on a little bit longer than it was supposed to, and we needed to get back home in a hurry. We ended up overstaying our trip in Colorado, and at some point it was like, we need to fucking go now. People had to get to work on a certain day, and we needed to get home. Some stuff ended up being tossed in the car that should not have been tossed in the car, and that resulted in a felony possession charge for 3 out of the 4 people in the car. One item resulted in 3 5-year probation sentences. One single item, again I reiterate, one single THC infused candy bar resulted in 3 5-year felony probation sentences. So that's what I'm dealing with. I have completed 2 years out of my 5-year sentence. I still have 3 years left to go. That's roughly 1,000 days. It weighs heavily on me. I try to go about my days. You know, having a routine really helps in a situation like this. Streaming has really helped to take my mind off of things. Making videos really helps to take my mind off of things. And having some consistent friends in the online world really helps to deal with all of this stuff. It's a lot to deal with. It weighs heavily on me, especially as someone who deals with anxiety and bouts of depression. It's a lot to take in. It's more than I would wish on anyone. I wouldn't wish for even an enemy to be in this situation of dealing with these legal problems. especially anybody who has dealt with anxiety or depression. It's too much. The system doesn't take into consideration the ramifications of putting someone who has any kind of mild mental illness problems into this situation. It's too fucking much. But I'm coping. I'm dealing with it. One of the ways I'm coping is I take a hell of a lot of caffeine. I used to turn to marijuana to help me deal with emotional problems and stress. Well, it turns out caffeine does a damn good job as well. Believe it or not, caffeine is way more dangerous than weed. I might be a little more productive with caffeine than weed, but caffeine will fuck up your liver and your kidneys. Well, I don't know about your liver. I think it'll fuck up your kidneys. It's not good for you, despite what society tries to say. But it helps to boost my mood. So if you see me talking about taking caffeine pills, stuff like that, you know, I'm not trying to nurture some kind of drug problem, but it's a coping mechanism. You know, everybody needs medicine, especially if you have this feeling of being uneasy in the world, which I do. I always have. I've always been the type of person that's been very anti-establishment. I don't believe in the system. I don't believe the legal system is just. I don't believe the police are doing what they were designed to do in society. I've always thought that the drug laws were unjust, and this is before I've ever smoked. I always had this feeling that the system was wrong, and always was outspoken that I didn't believe in this shit. And now it's come to the point that it really is affecting me in my life, and it sucks. It fucking sucks. It's everything that I ever talked about has directly come unto me, and it's a lot to deal with, like I already said. Part of the reason I wanted to make this vlog is because I fucked up. That's the part 2 of this. I fucked up back in September, and after completing almost 2 years of probation, I came out dirty on a drug test. I had smoked. I thought I was smarter than the system, and basically, the people in charge were very much not happy with that. To see that, you know, they really don't want you to have your own free will in this situation. They want you to be their good little puppet. And I came out dirty on this drug test because I didn't expect there to be a drug test. Like I said, I thought I was gonna outsmart the system. And basically, the consequences of coming out dirty on this drug test is that they're threatening me with spending 4 days in jail in December. I have to go to court out of town. I have to drive 5 hours out of town and 5 hours back to go to court for a meeting that's probably gonna take 10 minutes. Seriously, I've had to do this multiple times. And as of right now, it's kind of up in the air whether or not I'm gonna have to go and serve these 4 days in jail. The reason it's up in the air is because I'm kind of doing this alternative punishment program, which is that they are having me take drug tests every 2 weeks, and in addition to that, I have to go to 2 NA meetings every week. If you don't know, NA is Narcotics Anonymous. It's for drug addicts. The people there that I listen to are fucking hardcore drug addicts who have smoked crack, smoked meth, basically ruined their lives and their families' lives. I want to tell you that my issues are nothing like that. My issues are not stemming from the usage of drugs. My usage of drugs is stemming from my issues. And when I say drugs, I mean weed and caffeine. Don't get the fucking wrong idea. I've always been a person that has believed in the medical benefits of marijuana, and for me, smoking for the first time, or the first few times, it was like a light bulb went off in my head, and it was like, this is how other people feel. This is what it feels like to be normal. For me, weed is a medicine. I've definitely abused that medicine at times and overdone it, But when you abuse weed, what happens? You end up going to sleep, you waste some time. I waste my time anyway. I've been sober for a while now, and I have a tendency of wasting a lot of time. It has nothing to do with the weed, trust me. It's a matter of personal motivation and goals and lack thereof. So anyway, at this point, I know I'm kind of just rambling. There's so much to say. Hopefully I don't have to go to jail in December for 4 days, because that would super suck, obviously, because I would miss my streaming schedule, first of all. And as someone suffering from anxiety and depression, I don't think that am really suited to be locked in a cage for 4 days. I think that it's gonna be bad for me. I think that it's going to possibly lead to other unexpected consequences. I don't know. Having anxiety is a lot like feeling like a caged animal all the time. Now, if you put me in an actual cage, it's not gonna be good. I'm gonna fucking go slightly crazy, and I might hurt myself or somebody else. So I'm really hoping to avoid that consequence. Although, I guess if I have to go, it would be my own fucking fault, right? I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that did the thing. But yeah, I just want to speak on that. I'm not really looking for sympathy. I'm just trying to explain what the fuck is going on, so that in December, when I say, hey, I didn't have to go to jail for 4 days, that anybody actually knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Because otherwise, how would you know? Otherwise, it won't make any sense. There wouldn't be any context to it. And in 3 years from now, when I say, hey, I got off probation, happy day, that there's some context to it. That's what I'm trying to do. I just think it's gonna be a whole lot more awkward if I waited all that time to talk about what's going on. So thanks for listening. If you got it this far in the video, I have to assume that you're a supporter or a friend of mine, and that means everything to me. It's been a really hard time in my life. My life hasn't been easy in general, but this has been a particularly shitty period. And video games and making videos and streaming and stuff, and having you guys cheer me on here and there has really made things better. It's made things a lot easier, and I'm really grateful for everything, everything that you guys have done for me, and all the little bits of support. I just hope that people who maybe were on the fence about me, if they see this video, will understand and not hold me as some kind of drug addict the way that the state of Texas is doing. I think everybody has their thing, even at these NA meetings they serve coffee, but at the same time, in the beginning of the program, they say this is a program of abstinence from all drugs. Caffeine's a drug, man. Hate to break it to you. Caffeine alters the way that you feel. It's a drug, and it's no different from weed, really. Different effect, but same idea, same category. Everybody has their thing. I don't endorse the use of really much other drugs. I don't endorse the use of pharmaceutical drugs or anything like that. I think the most important thing is to be safe and take care of yourself and love yourself and be responsible and be in charge of your own destiny. Don't let yourself become a slave to anything. That includes the government. Fuck the government, I hate them. But that's about it, guys. Like I said, thanks for listening. I know I have a tendency of being pretty rambly. I've already been recording for 15 minutes already. I don't know how much of this is gonna get cut out. But thanks again. Love you. Peace.